I couldn't hold it together, but all she was saying is just hold it together, just get me out of here.
A husband pulls his wife from the rubble of their collapsed home. Stories of survival, few and far between in Haiti. America's learning they lost everyone.
My mother, my brother, all my family.
Some estimating hundreds of thousands dead from the massive earthquake. Tonight, help from around the world headed to the epicenter.
The first hours and days are absolutely critical to saving lives and avoiding even greater tragedy.
Volunteers from our area packing up supplies and flying south as local church members find themselves delivering God's hope to a nation that feels hopeless.
They are doing a lot more ministry than they had anticipated.
This WBTV high-definition program is sponsored by Time Warner Cable. WBTV News at 5 starts right now.
Homes toppled, people buried alive. It is chaos in the Caribbean tonight. Good evening. Nice to have you with us. I'm Maureen O'Boyle.
I'm Paul Cameron. Some of the images from Haiti are so heart-wrenching, it is impossible to show them on television. It's been 24 hours since the 7.0 magnitude quake shook the country to its core. At this hour, the death toll is feared to be in the hundreds of thousands. Among the collapsed buildings, the presidential palace and the United Nations headquarters. The UN says no fewer than 140 workers are underneath this rubble. Tonight, this Navy ship on its way with supplies and manpower, and President Obama promises even more.
The people of Haiti will have the full support of the United States in the urgent effort to rescue those trapped beneath the rubble and to deliver the humanitarian relief.
The president is calling on all nations to follow the lead of the United States.
Missionaries from the Charlotte area in Haiti delivering much more comfort and hope than they anticipated. Somewhere in the mess are missionaries from a Concord church who were in the country when the quake hit. WBTV's David Wisnett live at Concord Christian Church. And David, what have you heard about those people?
I've heard that they are okay. Now, they're obviously having to put up with a lot of inconveniences, but as far as being physically harmed, that did not take place. Now, Concord Christian Church sends a team to Haiti every year. In January, they send a women's group. They go down there to clothe and feed and also provide medical help to some of the poor children in Haiti. But as it worked out this time, this trip coincided with disaster. The 8 women and 2 men from Concord Christian Church who are now in Haiti were not hurt in the earthquake, but part of the compound where they're staying was destroyed.
The compound has walls around it, and all of those are down. The church that they use, one of the trusses has fallen into the building. The dormitories and the kitchen are still okay, no major structural damage.
Back at home, Executive Minister Bob Wallace keeps in touch with the team sporadically through the internet. That's how he learned the story of a particularly close call.
They were ministering to about 400 children all day yesterday. And in the area where they hold the children, while they're processing them, there's some benches. And as they finished up and all the children had just left is when the earthquake hit and a wall fell on those benches where all those kids have been being processed. So it's just an amazing, I think God was still protecting.
Most cell phone service is out. That makes it tough for Wallace and the team's family members to share information. Wallace has organized the church into a more traditional form of communication.
We've mobilized most of our church and a lot of our friends of the church to pray. And using the internet to do that has been a great method to let everybody know as soon as we know something.
As it turns out, the ministry these folks went to provide is needed now more than ever. Putting aside their own hardships, Wallace says his team is doing whatever it can to help the devastated people of Haiti.
They are doing a lot more ministry than they had anticipated.
Now, the pastor told us that this group, again, it's 8 women and 2 men, they were supposed to be coming back home Saturday, but he said that is really all up in the air now. He does not know when they'll be able to come back, so they're just going to have to wait and see and rely on their faith. And again, he says that when he's able to have some communication, that the scenes they describe are absolutely heartbreaking. Live in Concord, David Wisnett, WBTV, on your side.
And we know they are needed so much down there, David. Thanks. The church is planning a community prayer service tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the church there on Highway 73. 23 in Concord. And if you want to help, the Red Cross is collecting donations via text messaging. Just text the word GIVE to 24357. A $5 donation will appear on your monthly bill. We'll show you that number again in a few minutes, so have your pens ready. Paul?
Well, like that church, a lot of you are probably eager to help, but don't sacrifice good judgment for generosity. Coming up at 5:15, a warning about some of the scams that could be out there in the wake of this natural disaster. Plus more local earthquake coverage at 5:30. We'll take you to Watauga County Warehouse, where supplies are ready to go to the hardest hit areas. And you'll hear from one Charlotte man who runs a Haitian orphanage now damaged. We'll have a special earthquake section on WBTV.com, the latest headlines and other ways you can help right on our homepage.
South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford one step away from a censure. The state house overwhelmingly voted on the formal reprimand today. It stems from the governor's unannounced trip to visit his mistress in Argentina this summer. The censure still requires approval from the state Senate, which is reviewing the motion.
North Carolina's governor in Charlotte today with three big topics to talk about. Governor Perdue hit on education, government ethics, and continuing to create jobs here in the Charlotte area. WBTV's business reporter Melissa Hankins joining us live right now. Melissa, let's talk about jobs. Been a good month for the governor. High batting average for her, but she says she's not finished bringing jobs here.
That's right, Paul. Governor Perdue has officially deemed herself the jobs governor. She said a year ago she never would have dreamed she'd be giving herself that nickname. Her campaign platform, of course, was built on education, and she did talk about that today, too. But Perdue said 2009 was a year that caused her to drastically shift her priorities. And in 2010, she's promising to live up to her new name.
Make no mistake, our number one priority in North Carolina has to be jobs. Jobs, jobs, and more jobs. I don't care where they are or what it takes for us to get them.
We've been telling you for weeks now about the big incentive packages Perdue has been using to lure large companies here from out of state. Well, today she announced another shift too. She says she wants to start rewarding small businesses with incentives, and that could be big news for you. If you've got a small business idea, you are going to want to hear the details on this, and I'm working on that story for you. I'll have it at 6. For now, we're live in Charlotte. Melissa Hankins, WBTV, on your side.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Now, Melissa also talked about education, still a priority for the governor. In Kannapolis today, she told a joint session of state school boards she hopes to get more federal stimulus dollars to fight North Carolina's high school dropout rate.
6 of Charlotte's roughest, toughest, most dangerous gang members sitting in the same room this week. The city's first federal gang jury trial in decades in its second day. These men, drawn in court by a sketch artist hired by WBTV, are alleged members of MS-13. They're charged with racketeering and conspiracy to commit crimes. Some of them face murder charges, and their high profile means high security. If you are in Uptown, you'll notice snipers there on the roof of the courthouse. There are Homeland Security agents on the ground. WBTV Sharon Smith in the courtroom today. So Sharon, fill us in on what's happening there.
Maureen, one of the most compelling moments had to be when prosecutors showed us a video of an MS-13 gang initiation, basically a 13-second beat-in. Imagine kicking all the anger and frustration you've ever had out. Well, we saw them do that to another person. I went back and looked at some of the video of the stories I covered back during the initial gang roundup back in June of 2008, and you'll notice there's a certain street cred that came with the arrest, like they were proud to be a gang member. Well, all of that seems to have evaporated now in court. These guys are dressed up in button-downs. Now remember, the FBI said they were expert entrepreneurs, but the business was robbery, murder, drug pushing. However, one defense attorney said in court, just because you're in a gang doesn't make the crimes gang-related. He said sometimes people do stupid things for stupid reasons. That gang affiliation will be crucial in this case. And coming up at 6, we'll talk about how the FBI and CMPD brought MS-13 down. For now, we are live at the courthouse. Sharon Smith, WBTV, on your side.
Sharon, will look for you at 6 o'clock. Well, there is a new way to lose weight, and we're showing you how.
It's about retraining your body. Tonight, a WBTV viewer signs up to give it a try. Hear how this art teacher plans to drop the